Welcome to Crossroads of Health, where common sense and good science intersect, with your hosts Rick Simpson and Melody Martorana. And now it's time for Crossroads of Health.
Good morning and welcome to another hopefully exciting episode of Crossroads of Health for all of you, where common sense and good science intersect. It's always real and it's always unscripted. And I'm your host, Rick Simpson.
And I'm your co-host, Melody Martorana. Rick, I know we've got some really good talking points today that tie into hair, skin, and nail health.
Yes, we do. Melody mentioned every week we have our talking points. We're talking about different things we might have been reading that week or things we've come across, things Dr. Stengler might have brought to our attention. So this week, actually, my talking point, I was going to talk specifically about hair loss. And this is some information that Dr. Stengler has brought to our attention. And I just want to raise the awareness about hair loss and some of the issues involved with hair loss. And so primarily genetics and hormones determine the most common reasons for hair loss. Male pattern baldness is characterized by a receding hairline and loss of hair, especially on the crown of the head, which I'm actually well aware of. By the age of 40, 2/3 of Caucasian men are noticeably bald. Female pattern baldness, on the other hand, is characterized by a general thinning of the hair all over the head and moderate loss of hair on the crown or the hairline. It also occurs between the ages of 30 and 40 and often becomes more apparent during and after menopause. About 50% of children with a balding parent or of either sex will inherit the dominant baldness gene, which is really unfortunate for any children that have balding fathers or mothers with thin hair. My mom had thin hair, so it's very unfortunate.
Same in my family.
And my dad had a big bald spot. My dad actually used to do the comb over thing, and he Grecian formula and the big comb over. And yeah, that was pretty hot. Yeah,
I bet your mom couldn't resist.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So anyway, so now besides age and genetics, the main culprit in balding appears to be an overabundance or overactivity of the male hormone dihydrotestosterone, or DHT, within the hair follicle. DHT is a derivative of testosterone and is driven by an enzyme called 5-alpha reductase. We mentioned this last week when we were talking actually about prostate stuff. It is produced in the prostate, the adrenal glands, and the scalp. The activity of this enzyme tends to increase as people, especially men, age. It also causes the hair follicle to degrade, and it shortens the growth phase. Some follicles die, but most shrink and produce weaker hair as they become thinner, many to the point where they fall out from daily activities. Another important hormone is progesterone. Menopausal women commonly find improvement with the use of natural progesterone for excessive hair loss, and that's differentiating itself from unnatural progesterone. And we've talked about that, making sure when you do hormone replacement that you're using natural hormones. It's common for women who are going through menopause to experience hair loss and thinning. This is due to fluctuating changes in many of their hormones. As mentioned, natural hormone balancing protocols administered by a knowledgeable doctor can reverse hair loss. Also, low levels of thyroid hormone can result in hair loss in women and men of all ages. So if you're low thyroid, hypothyroid, you can have a problem. It can also include thinning of the eyebrows. But on the other hand, hyperthyroidism or overactive thyroid can also cause hair loss. So you kind of have a problem on both sides. So you got low thyroid, you can have hair loss. You got hyperthyroid, you can have hair loss. So the bottom line is keeping the hormones in balance is really key. And that's not always easy to do on our own. And that's why I personally have Dr. Stenger run our blood work once a year. But that's, of course, your individual choice. But having balanced hormones is really, really crucial, and avoiding meats that are shot full of estrogens, insecticides, pesticides, those things can all be problematic. So you really want to try and eat the cleanest type of foods that we can, and that certainly does help to keep those hormones in balance. So those are just a few things regarding hair loss, just for your information.
That's all really good information. And I was going to say, when you're talking about how your dad did the comb over,
yes.
I just want to make this statement to all of you men out there. You guys care a lot more about your hair loss than us ladies do. And I can tell you that bald can be really hot for some women. And I will say this, my sister from another Mr. Nicole, I know she listens in. She loves her some Bruce Willis. And I know there's a lot of ladies out there who do, or Vin Diesel, or any of these guys that are bald. So,
okay, and we got to go. So we'll see you next week. Please tune in to listen to us again. Bye for now.